It's really, really fascinating. All this stuff is so interconnected. I love a good coaching search. There's so many different directions you could go. Here's another idea with regards to Bryan Harsin. Here's another idea. He was at Boise State. It's in the western part of the United States. He was successful there. He went down south and he was facing an administration that wanted him, but a fan base and alumni and donor base that really didn't. And he is not at one of the premier brands in the SEC. And you got a lot of great coaches and a lot of great teams in the SEC. You got Georgia, you got Bama, now you have Tennessee. There's a lot of solid programs there. Is it ridiculous to suggest that either ASU or Colorado should go hire Bryan Harsin? Yeah, it doesn't seem like a great notion right now, does it? Because, like, oh man, he went 9-12 in 2 years at Auburn. Yeah, he did. He didn't have a lot of success at Auburn. Had a lot of success at Boise State. We all know it's a different brand of football out here. This is not the SEC. Just because Bryan Harsin didn't work at Auburn, I don't think it all means that he could not work at either of those two job openings in the Pac-12. Think about it like this if you think I'm wrong. If he had never gone to Auburn and had stayed at Boise State and kept winning games there, how would you feel about him then? Would you have a flashback to Chris Petersen? What about Chris Petersen? Man, he was great coming out of Boise State for Washington. Got them to the college football playoff. Maybe this guy isn't Petersen, but if you can win at Boise, you just need a little bit more, right? Got to be in a bigger TV market. You got to have more access to high-level recruits and players and such. If he had never taken that Auburn job, and the Tigers administration, Auburn that is, never should have offered it to him, never felt like it was the right hire. If Bryan Harsin had stayed there, his name would be at the top of the list and in the top of the minds of Pac-12 fans everywhere for either of these two job openings. I'm not promising you he'd be a world beater. I'm just saying that this experience at Auburn is tarnishing his reputation in the eyes of many, but he won out west. And it's not as hard to win in the Pac-12 as it is in the SEC. If I'm Arizona State or if I'm Colorado, I 100% give Bryan Harsin a look. Because I don't think he's an incompetent coach. I just think it wasn't a great fit down at Auburn. Was he Chris Petersen at Boise? No. You know how many Chris Petersens there are in the world? One. There's just one. And Bryan Harsin won a lot of football games. And typically, that's something Boise State does. But Andy Avalos has struggled the last couple of years, more so than Harsin did. I think you have to consider it. If you were Colorado or Arizona State, I think he could fit at either one and have some success.